Hey YouTubers, this is the Roaming Prepper. As you may have noticed if you followed a couple of my videos by now, when I don't have a trip to make, I make a point of doing some preps at the house. Today I'm going to do a basic tutorial on how to use a FoodSaver and how I like to season my steaks for storage. I'll be right back and we're going to go and prep some food for long-term storage in a freezer. So we take the steak. I'm going to move this over for a bit. And once again, I like to use ground sea salt and whole peppercorns that I crack onto the meat. I'll do it on both sides. Since I'm putting salt, I'm going to use Mrs. Dash on this one, garlic and herb. If you want it a little spicier, or you want to get it a little to where you get someone's attention, you can use Nunu's. There are a couple other really great Cajun seasonings, including Tony Chachere's that you can use. This one, one of my brother's favorites, believe it or not, Slap Your Mama, because that's just an awesome name. Anyway, I'm going to put that back here, and let's get to seasoning. So I'm going to drop the salt. Same with the other side, do the pepper. And a generous topping of that. Sorry about the squeaking in the background. We have a little corgi in the house who thinks it's awesome to make as much noise as possible whenever I'm trying to do something that involves silence, like filming. Anyway, get this side as well. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over, I'm going to move this over. Now we're going to go to the FoodSaver. Now this is the 4400 model, so it's a newer model. I got it on sale and I was super lucky. I got it for just over $100. I've seen it in the stores since for 200 plus. So I really got away with a good deal. The way it works, you take your bag, turn the machine on, remove your bag, and you take the amount you think will fit the meat. So I'm figuring that might be good. I have done it wrong. This is probably a bit more than it should be. And use this little cutting device. Now if you have one of the older models, you could just use a pair of scissors. Then it has seal. Don't just stick the bag in there. Hit seal. If you just stick the bag in there, it tries to pull a suction, but both ends are open, so it just does that forever. Hit seal. The red light says you're ready. And you put it in there, and we wait. Now, while we're waiting for this contraption to seal, I'm going to get one of the most important things you'll ever find in a kitchen, a Sharpie. Because I will write the date and time, or not the time, but the date and what it is. So it's top sirloin. With seasoning. Because I promise you later on I won't remember. Now if you look, this was the side of the bag that I stuck in there. It's now sealed. It has a nice little heat seal right across it. The other side's open, so I'm using tongs just to not get raw meat all over my hands. Put these bad boys in there. Sorry for blocking the camera, but I'm sure you guys have seen tongs used before. Ta-da! And we kind of get these guys to settle in there. Now, one little tip I found is, you notice the bag has a bit of a curve from the way it was rolled up in here. So I try to put it in with the roll kind of facing downward. So you pop this guy in here, I have a corgi under me sniffing the steak. That's kind of... Come on. And the puppy heard that thing go off and she took off. Notice... You heard it start revving up. That's as it pulls suction, the motor has more stress on it as it pulls the last bit of air out. And it seals it. This is the coolest thing ever. I've also used this attachment to vacuum seal different types of Tupperware, but there you go. This thing can now be put in your freezer, and should be 18 to 24 months. That's another thing about using the big salt. The salt helps preserve the meat while frozen, so it's all going to be in there. You know, whenever I decide to use it, I just cut it open, and I've got something good to eat. Well, so that's the most basic 101 on how to use a FoodSaver. This has quickly become one of my favorite contraptions in the kitchen. I've used it to preserve all sorts of stuff. I'm going to get the attachment to actually pull a vacuum on mason jars. So if you're storing rice, you could use the oxygen absorber like I'm going to show, or I have shown in another video, but you can actually just pull a suction on it as well. I mean, these things are really handy. And more importantly, when you find food on sale, or if you just happen to be passing by, this is kind of like a quick micro prep, right? I didn't go out and spend $100. I grabbed 10, 20 bucks, grab some meat, preserve it, freeze it, and you know, you do that bit by bit every week, every couple of days. You can very quickly stock up quite a bit of. In any case, thanks for checking out this video. If you could like and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. In the meantime, this is the Roaming Prepper. If you're traveling or planning to travel, Godspeed to all of you. And to everybody, be ready, pay attention, and be safe. Until next time, take care.